Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm Jenny, and as always, I'm here with Mark, our resident tech guru.
Hey Jenny, always a pleasure. And today, we've got something really cool to dive into. It's this company, Anura.io. They just announced this. Well, they claim it's an accuracy guarantee for ad fraud detection.
Okay, wait, let's back up a second. Ad fraud detection? Remind our listeners why this even matters.
Right, good point. So picture this. You're a company, you're spending all this money on online ads, right? But it turns out a bunch of those clicks and views are coming from bots, not real people. It's like throwing your money into a black hole.
Oh, that's frustrating. It's like paying for a billboard that only robots can see.
Exactly. And it's a huge problem. I was reading that the estimated global cost of digital ad fraud was $35 billion last year. Billion with a B.
Wow, that's a lot of money. So how does ad fraud detection work? Are we talking about some high-tech cyber police patrolling the internet?
Haha, kind of. It's more like algorithms and machine learning. They analyze patterns, IP addresses, user behavior, all that digital stuff to try to figure out if a click is legit or if it's just a bot doing its thing.
Okay, so these systems are trying to tell the difference between real people and sneaky bots online. But how accurate can they really be?
Well, that's where it gets interesting. See, the industry average, from what I've seen, it's around 95 to 98% accuracy. But Anura, they're saying they can hit 99.999%.
Whoa, hold on. 99.999%? That seems almost too precise. What's the catch?
That's what I thought too. But apparently they have this special sauce, something they call their decision science, and it is custom made. Oh man, this is the cool part. They process all the fraud data in-house. So they say they can identify fraudulent traffic with insane precision without any false positives.
False positives? Explain that one to me like I'm 5.
Haha, okay. So, a false positive is basically when the system flags a real person as a bot by mistake. It's like accidentally arresting an innocent bystander.
Ah, got it. So legitimate users, potential customers, get blocked. That sounds like a nightmare for businesses.
It is. It can mess up your data, hurt your brand, and cost you real money. Anura's CEO, Rich Khan, he said, and I quote, "We don't just protect your campaigns from fraud, we ensure that not a single real visitor is turned away."
That's a bold claim. But I guess if you're that confident in your tech, you put your money where your mouth is, right?
Right? They are so confident they are offering this accuracy guarantee. If they don't meet that 99.999% mark, they'll give you a service credit.
Okay, that's interesting. So they're basically saying, we're so sure about this that if we're wrong, we'll compensate you.
Yeah, and they have a dedicated team to investigate any claims of inaccurate results. It's kind of like having a tech support team specifically for accuracy.
So let's say this actually works as advertised. What kind of impact could this have on the whole digital advertising world?
Oh, it could be massive. Think about it. If advertisers are suddenly able to trust that their ad spend is actually reaching real people, that could change everything.
I can see that. More efficient ad spend, better targeting. It's like finally being able to see a clear return on your investment.
Exactly. And it might push other companies in the industry to up their game, to try and reach that same level of accuracy. It's like a new standard has been set.
But what about the smaller players? Could this kind of technology put them at a disadvantage? It's like an expensive arms race that only the big guys can afford.
That's a valid concern. It might lead to some consolidation in the industry, the bigger companies acquiring the smaller ones with the best tech.
Something to keep an eye on for sure. But on the flip side, this could also be a big win for user privacy, right? If they're not accidentally blocking real people, that's less data being collected unnecessarily.
Well, here's the thing about that. To achieve that level of accuracy, they must be analyzing a ton of data. So there's still the question of how they're handling user privacy and complying with regulations like GDPR.
Good point. It's a double-edged sword. Better accuracy is great, but not at the expense of our personal information.
I was just reading about this, and Dr. Augustine Fau, he's an independent ad fraud researcher, he said that if Anura can consistently deliver on this promise, it could really change how the industry approaches fraud prevention.
That's a big if, but it's exciting to think about the possibilities. What about the future of this kind of tech? What's the next step after near-perfect accuracy?
Well, I think AI is going to play an even bigger role. It's kind of like D, G, You know when you see those sci-fi movies where the computers can predict crimes before they happen?
Haha, yeah, like Minority Report?
Exactly. It's not quite there yet, but we're moving towards more sophisticated AI that can detect these evolving fraud techniques in real time.
And I've been hearing a lot about blockchain being used for ad verification. Could that be part of the solution too?
Oh yeah, blockchain could be huge. It could provide this transparent, tamper-proof record of ad transactions. It's like having a public ledger that everyone can trust.
So a more secure and transparent system overall. It's like the Wild West of digital advertising is finally getting a sheriff, or maybe a whole posse of them.
Haha, I like that analogy. It's definitely an exciting time for the industry. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
For sure. Well, this has been a fascinating conversation, Mark. Thanks for breaking it all down for us.
Anytime, Jenny. And to our listeners, let us know what you think. Are you as intrigued by this ad fraud detection tech as we are? Hit us up on social media. We want to hear from you.
Until next time, stay curious, everyone.